Dr. Premier Scene. I'm Claire Bueno as Tower Block gets its world premiere here at the finale of FrightFest 13.
I've spoken to everyone and we've got nothing that will help us identify the attackers, nothing at all. 15 years old, beaten to death and nobody saw a thing.
Well, gentlemen, joint directing, how does that collaboration work?
It was actually really easy and really organic. Everyone expects a horror story. Everyone wants to hear that we were arguing and one person's voice got heard louder than the other. But actually,
we haven't spoken in 6 months, you fucking liar.
I fucking hate you. But no, we had a really good time together. It was actually very easy, very organic, as I said. Where any information that I was lacking and confidence I was lacking, Ron made up for, and I think similar, hopefully.
Yeah, vice versa. It was very, very easy, it worked well on set. We're old friends anyway, so it was a great process and one that we'll do again.
Yeah.
And when you first read the script, what excited you about wanting to helm the project?
I just think it was such an interesting concept because it's concept-driven as
big
well.
Fans of James Moran as well.
He's a great Moran, the writer. He's like king of FrightFest this year. He's got a couple of movies here, and we just both hit it off. We both shared a similar vision on it when we spoke on the phone. It was we want to do this way, we want to do this way, and it was all so similar. And I think probably if we had come to more logheads, maybe we wouldn't have gone down that road. But everything was
easy,
so literally can't describe how easy it was with this man.
I mean, James Moran's a great writer. I'm a writer myself, and I at the time I was looking to direct a film with Jim, and I'd written a script, but James had given me his. His was better than mine, so we decided to make it. It was just a really, really well written piece.
Not better, different, but better.
Thank you, yeah, but better.
But closely.
And for a film that's emotionally charged, how do you work with your actors? Are you conscious to keep the takes as short as possible?
We're very militant on the blocking procedure. We'd spend half an hour to an hour, even on the smallest scene. We want it this way, and then once we kind of did that, we stuck to it.
Yeah.
And when it came to the film, obviously we had a plan shot list wise, but when it came to scene by scene, we kind of did the blocking, and it was just very a case of when you've not got the most time in the world, you have to be on your feet with it, and we would just try to find ways to try to do things as simple as possible.
We set 2 rules of how we're going to shoot it. We stuck to our rules, and we think it's paid dividends because we're really happy with the film. So.
Shooting in one location, so what are the pros and cons for you as filmmakers for
It's
that?
actually really kind of boring shooting in one location, isn't it?
It certainly can be.
It does push you to try and find a more inventive way of shooting something because, we'd approach every scene every day and we're like, right, we have our basic shot list, but at the same time, right, we've shot it like that before, what are we going to do now?
But also, though, on a plus side, you have continuity of shooting, so you know where you're going to be, you know your limitations, you know what you can do, so you're given these rules that you're governed by, so you just have to work with them rules. So it can be boring, but on the other side of it, you kind of know what you can achieve. But you have to be inventive because at the end of the day, most of the film is set in a corridor, so you've got to shoot it well.
And we watched some one location movies in the gear up, didn't we? Like Frozen and Buried, and just very impressed with what they were doing. So I think we kind of took a little bit of inspiration there.
Yeah, we did indeed. Yeah.
I know you're scared, but we can protect you.
The spark that ignited the whole story for you?
I was watching another horror film, and I thought the killer, I don't want to give away what film it was because I'll spoil the end, but I thought they were about to leave the house and I thought the killer was going to be outside with a sniper rifle, and I thought, oh my god, that's going to be terrible, and then that's not what happened. And then I kind of got distracted through the rest of the film because I thought that would actually be a good start of a horror film. So I just went away and wrote it, and that was actually at FrightFest. I was watching that horror film. So it was born at FrightFest, and it will live or die at FrightFest.
It's got its opening night here, which is amazing.
Yes, yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, the timing's worked out really nicely. Thankfully, the Olympics and the football thing, very nicely arranged themselves just so that I could be at FrightFest.
And to me, the core of the film is survival. Is that what you were hoping for?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like a survival horror thriller thing. It's just like, what's the most awful thing I can think of? How would I get out of it? I mean, I spend most of my day thinking up worst case scenarios because that's just what I do. I'm paranoid and insecure. So I just thought, well, how would I try and get out of it? And every plan I came up with, I would try and stop them doing that. So it's kind of a weird look inside my brain, really.
And the film is set within the confines of one area, so is that challenging for you as a writer to keep the audience engaged in that one specific area?
Partly. I mean, a lot of the challenge was sort of trying to think like the killer and think, if I was doing that, how would I stop them from leaving, and how would I, maximise the terror and the fear, and what kind of traps and things would I set? So you kind of go into a very kind of weird, you're sitting alone in a room just kind of thinking up ways to hurt and kill people, and how you would stop them getting out. So it's kind of weird, yeah, but it's fun.
Someone's shooting into our flat!
This isn't just some random attack.
Someone's trying to kill us all. We don't know why, and we don't know who it is.
For an actor, the script is everything.
It is.
So what attracted you to this particular script that you wanted to be a part of it?
When I read it, I was very pleased that the part that they were interested in me playing was not a total bastard. Because I've done quite a lot of those in the past. I've made a bit of a career out of playing meanies and baddies and weirdos. And this guy was just a decent chap, so it was a different challenge for me.
And what is it that's so special, really, about James's writing?
Well, it's very, it's kind of really scary, actually. He's a really good thriller writer, It keeps making weird corners, that you don't expect. Keeps you on the edge of the seat. Hopefully, I haven't seen it yet, but the script certainly was a page turner.
And are you married as well in the film?
No,
you're not married in the film,
and we're not married in real life either. No. But we're both very good friends, and we both live in Brighton.
Oh,
Yes.
I hope you travelled up on the train together?
Yeah, we did. Of course we did, yeah.
But then we were picked up by a limo at Victoria. So, we've had a very glamorous evening so far.
Well, the film itself isn't very glamorous, though, is it? It's set in the East End, and I'm wondering what's the attraction to so many films, British films obviously, being set in the East End?
Well, I think it's all about the sort of regeneration of the East End and the old East End kind of, falling apart to a certain extent and regeneration. And I think it's just always been a huge draw for filmmakers, the East End of London. It's so steeped in tradition and it's quite a kind of wonderfully, beautifully bleak landscape. Obviously not now after the Olympics, but so I think filmmakers have always been drawn to the East End because there's just so much, there's a real melting pot there.
Yeah.
And the core of the film, is it about survival?
Very much so, yeah. It falls into what I call the genre of, and then they died one by one. You know what I mean? And there they all are, and they're not all going to make it. They're not.
Agatha Christie.
And you hopefully, if you're watching it, you attach yourself to one of them characters, and you hope that they survive.
Someone's coming for us.
We'll get help somehow.
That's the end of that conversation, yeah.
So your character must go on quite an emotional journey because one minute she's fighting for her home and then the next minute she's fighting for survival.
Yeah, it was completely different to anything I've done before this one. Kick-ass girl, it's quite good fun. But they're a brilliant team that put it on, and we had brilliant stunt guys that helped me with all the stunts. Although I was just saying, one went wrong on the first day and I split my lip and lost a tooth, which was not a good start. I'm hardly Angelina Jolie. The poor man's Angelina Jolie.
It could only get better.
So it could only get better from day one, and thankfully it did. And I really enjoyed it. It was good holding a gun and being like a little tomboy. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
And you're working with two directors. So how does that help or hinder your process?
It was brilliant actually, because you got double trouble. But no, they were brilliant because Ronnie's so passionate about it, and James is really technical. He was the first AD before that, so together they were just a brilliant team, and they knew exactly what they wanted, and they're boys, so they were like, come on, be kick-ass, Sheridan, come on. So they chose the outfits, and I was a bit die-hard, but they were brilliant. We had such a laugh doing it, and I miss it actually because it was good fun coming into work and just tearing it up a bit, being a little terrier.
The arc that your character goes on, can you share a little bit more about that with us?
Yeah, I mean it gets quite emotional at times, and it's like one thing after another happens. I don't know how much I can say without giving it away.
I'm just wondering, are you dealing with as well, if you're terrified, are you dealing with different types of terror? Are you exploring that as an actor and those kind of emotions?
In real life,
in the film.
I've just shown that I'm absolutely terrified about everything I'm doing at the minute.
Pushing your boundaries.
That's it. Step out of the comfort zone. There's lots of fear that she comes up against. I think the thing about this film is that it's just a group of ordinary people living in a tower block. They're not your typical heroes. So you're kind of behind them all the way. You want them to get out alive. So, yeah, it was a lot of terror, genuine terror. It was good fun though.
Brave old soldier, you, eh?
Just come from home, which is the Notting Hill Carnival. So getting out was a bit of a fright fest, I must say.
So that was carnage.
That was carnage. Honestly, I've been like running like a madman, but great to be here.
You're back in character then.
Yeah, it's very well observed. I see somebody's seen the film. Yeah, it was good fun. It really was a good fun. I was very pleased to be part of it.
What attracted you to the script when you were first presented with it?
Mainly, really, because it was quite dark. I enjoyed that. I like the fact that it was quite a dark story. I love the fact that it's, people forced to kind of resolve a situation who wouldn't normally talk to each other, and that's quite interesting for me. So,
is it quite a psychological journey that all of your parts go on?
A bit of Lord of the Flies, a bit, isn't it? It's kind of like the moment you're kind of in a situation where you've got to think about your survival, all the rules go out the book. And people start turning on each other, and the guys who I worked with, they're fantastic, So it was a win-win situation.
Like a true collaboration on set then?
Yeah, it felt like it was. I mean, obviously the kind of donkey work had been done by James, so the writing was brilliant, and then the rest of it was about just kind of getting out of the way of the words, or fixing them.
That's it for Film 4 FrightFest.
That's my job. I'm Claire Bueno, you're watching Premier Scene, and that is it from FrightFest.